Biochar has the potential of sequestering, removing 6 gigatons of carbon dioxide equivalent per year. This is purely through applications in agriculture. If we were to include the application of biochar in other construction materials and materials development, we can easily surpass 50 gigatons of carbon removal. Biochar is this biomass that comes from waste residue, organic waste residue, and is converted to carbon through pyrolysis, which is the burning in low or no oxygen. And this creates this structure that is permanent, recalcitrant. So it stays in the ground or in the material where it's applied for thousands of years. When you apply biochar to agriculture, you're using the molecular structure of the biomass that has captured that carbon through photosynthesis, and you're opening up those pores and making them available to store water, nutrients, minerals, and microorganisms. Through this process, through correct pyrolysis of the biomass, through direct and correct application to compost, we're able to speed up the regenerating capacity of the soil and the earth and increase exponentially the growth of food.
Here in our gardens in Circle Carbon Labs in Mallorca, we have a very beautiful example of this increase of productivity and the results of using biochar in the soil. The results are just absolutely amazing. This is an example of what our soil does, our soil terrarium. This is an experiment that we did thanks to a client. There are avocado trees planted from a seed. This is planted January 2020, and this is planted July 2020. So this is 6 months younger. So the difference is the soil. This is normal garden soil, a substrate that he bought, and this is the substrate that we do, terrarium.
What visitors mostly react to is the health of these plants, the size, the health, and the taste, the flavor. And this is because thanks to those microorganisms making all of those minerals available to the plants are just very, very much healthier. They're growing to their full potential.
And we see that without any fertilizers or pesticides, the growth of the plant is perfect.
We get farmers visiting us, and they look and they just shake their heads and they say, well, you know, what is happening? That's the power of biochar when it's applied in agriculture. But less pure biomasses, organic material, like sludge from water treatment plants, can also be converted to biochar and then used as an additive in construction materials. So when you add up all of those potential applications, you can easily reach or surpass 50 gigatons of carbon removal per year. Biochar, as has been shown scientifically and through innumerable studies, is perhaps the most promising technology, millenary technology, that can remove carbon from the atmosphere using a natural pathways technology, which is basically photosynthesis.
All what we are looking for is actually here within this practice of regenerating the soils, the planet, the people.
Nature is showing us that if we just do the basic physical, material application, nature will reward us. Not tenfold, not 100-fold, but 1,000-fold. And for me, being a little bit of a doomsday prophet for many, many years, because I really didn't see a solution, this journey with biochar and microorganisms and nature, plants, trees, vegetables, has taught me that the solution is staring us in the face. Now, if we can create a jungle in 3 years in this greenhouse, then imagine what we could do in 5 years or 10 years if we just applied this. And I want to stress that it's not rocket science. Mm-hmm. We do a very small part of what nature is showing us. We just get the process started. It's a kick-starting.
Nature creates this quality of soil that would be forest soil. To build this quality of soil, this virgin soil ready to take up the force of growth, physical growth for plants, takes 500 years to build 1 inch. So 500 years, we with 4 months can build that. So we are given an incredible tool to reproducing an ecosystem.
And we can show very clearly that by regenerating the soil and planting trees and food in the form of vegetables or fruit trees, that we can not only regenerate, we can create abundance, a generous abundance, enriching not only our health, our society, but also our economy. And if we think about it, what is more important than to have food? Healthy, nutrition-rich food. From there, everything else will develop. Let's just remember that we're losing between 10 and 12 million hectares per year of fertile soil. According to the United Nations, we have 60 harvests left. This was 5 years ago when they came out with that study. We also know that 4 billion people will be experiencing severe water scarcity within the next 5 years. So whatever we've been doing has created this situation. And we know that there are alternatives. And we can show here at Circle Carbon that with the application of biochar mixed with a special mix of organic matter, we can reverse that by creating the conditions, the minimum conditions for a fertile soil through biochar, which accelerates the process many, many times over through the introduction of exponentially more microorganisms. But, and that's a big but, knowing that there is a solution is not enough. We have to do it. We have to apply our knowledge, and we have to share that knowledge, and we have to make sure that that knowledge reaches many people. It's really about how do we see ourselves in this environment? Do we see ourselves in this Garden of Eden, in this paradise, just harvesting the abundance, or creating a desert? That's the question.
It's up to us.
It's up to us. It's our choice. And we have to act. Fast.
Fast.